Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is your finance guru giving you the ultimate guide in everything finance for us millennials. So today we are talking about mastering life. Mastering life, okay? Getting your life together, okay? So today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite ways to get your life in order so you can live the life that you want to live and that you deserve to have, okay? So if that's something you're interested in watching, please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you like the video, share the video if you like the video, okay? And let's get into it. So the first hack that I have for you guys is to write things down. Write everything you can down onto a journal, piece of paper, whatever it is, but something that you can visually see and keep track of. So the main reason why you want to do this is when you have your thoughts and they're in your mind, it's very difficult to keep track of what prominent thoughts you're having, what thoughts are deterring you, what thoughts are being detractors, what thoughts are being positive, and the rest of it. When you actually put them down onto a notebook, you can start to see and build a framework as to where your state of mind actually is. One of the things that I love to do is actually journal. So I will pretty much, as soon as I wake up, start to write down the top 5 things that I'm thinking in that hour or in that half an hour. When I get to the office, I write down what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking in that time, and so on and so forth. And what happens is, by the end of the day, I've built a picture of where my mind is at. And over time, you start to see where you're actually like moving, what state of mind you're moving to and from. And this is super helpful in helping you organize your thoughts, so you can be thinking about the things that you want to think about, thinking about the things that will be good for you, thinking about the things that will actually grow you. And second of all, you can get rid of everything else that you don't want to think about. So journal everything that you can, and then tailor the things in your life and tailor the thoughts in your life that you're seeing that you want or that you don't want. The idea is to keep all of the thoughts that you're having that are making you feel good, that are giving you energy, that are keeping you vibrant. You want to keep all of those thoughts and get rid of the ones that are draining you, that are making you negative, and that are making you feel bad. But you can only do that once you start writing them down. So key number 1, write everything down. So tip number 2 is to put things up. Put things up everywhere. And by things, I mean literally things that make you feel happy, feel good, feel energized. You want to put them up everywhere that you can, just so that you're seeing the things that are actually giving you energy, allowing you to be more creative and making you feel good. Because the key, honestly, the key to life, guys, is to be feeling good at every point that you can. So visualization for this one is absolutely key. You want to put up everything that you can visually see that will stimulate a thought, a creation in your mind that will make you feel better. So for example, I have lots of art around my room. You guys, I'm in my bedroom right now, but on this side I have art. On that side I have some art that I actually self-created. And the idea is that when I wake up in the morning or when I come in from a long day of work, I can see something that makes me feel good and energized, which will encourage me to be doing more of the things that I want to do. Now, a lot of people have trouble believing in things that they don't see. So there's a lot of us who we have dreams inside of our minds, but where we haven't physically seen it, it's really hard for us to believe that they're attainable. So for this, I suggest hacking your brain, right? And what I mean by that is go on Pinterest, go on Google, whatever it is, and search for the thing that you want. So if it's a really big house that you want to live in somewhere down the line and you have a hard time visualizing yourself in this house because maybe where you live there aren't many big houses, or maybe you don't have friends with lots of big houses, it doesn't matter. Just search for a big house. Take that image into a picture editor online. You can find lots of free ones and just search for them. And then you want to get a picture of yourself, and you're going to put that picture of yourself into the picture of the big house. Then print it out and put it up in your room. And that's the best way to keep you focused on the things that you really want, and to encourage your belief system into seeing something that you actually want and then believing that it's possible to get. Okay? The first step is to be able to see it. Then you can believe it. Then you can get it. Another thing that I like to do is I'll put up motivational pictures and things that I want on my screensaver. Literally on your phone. If you think about how many times you actually use your phone in a day, in a freaking minute, let's not lie, everyone's got their phones on them. So if you're seeing the very thing that you're wishing for, that you want to believe in on your phone all the time, sooner or later your mind's going to start to believe that you can actually get it. So tip number 2, use visualization and put things up. Okay, tip number 3 is actually my personal favorite because I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to Excel and spreadsheets. Tip number 3 is to graph it up. I want you guys to use graphs and charts to your advantage. Now, I work in marketing, so a lot of what I do is about analyzing the data, doing the number crunching, putting that into presentations, putting that into charts and bar graphs where we can display the progress of activities that we've been doing behind the scenes. And I believe you can take that skill and use that in your life to get to where you want. So many of us get bogged down by all the detail because sometimes it just feels like you're not getting where you're going, and really and truly you cannot really see where you're going because you're either not writing it down to be able to see it, you haven't put it up to know whether you're close to it. So tip number 3 for me, graph it up. And what I mean by this is, if you take a snapshot of your life, so let's say for example you want to find your dream job, right? You are currently working somewhere where you're probably not that happy and you know you can get your dream job, but you're not too sure whether or not you're actually heading in the right direction. What you want to do is you want to write down 3 to 5 key aspects of your dream job that you want to be consistent wherever you go. So it might be a good work-life balance. You might want to have the right people around you that make you feel like it's worth going into the office every day. You might want to have challenging, inspirational work that you do, and then whatever else it is. It doesn't matter what it is, but let's say you've got those 3 things. Then you are going to rank those 3 things in terms of importance, but you are going to track those 3 things across everywhere that you've worked. So let's say place number 1 where you worked 5 years ago. In terms of the people, in terms of the work, in terms of balanced lifestyle, how did they rank? And with these rankings, I would keep it to 1 to 5. So let's say your work-life balance when you first started working out was really, really bad. So it was like a number 1. The work-life balance wasn't that great. Maybe the people weren't that great. That was a number 1. And then maybe the work was okay, but it wasn't quite there. And that's number 2. You're going to add that, and the sum of that is going to be the score that you've got for that particular place. 1, 1, and 2, that's 4. So you know that 5 years ago, you were at a 4 with the workplace that you were at. Now you want to do that for everywhere that you have worked, and once you start to get those numbers, you'll see whether or not you're actually heading in the right direction with where you want to be in life. So maybe you've worked 3 places in the last 10 years, you can do that and then sort of see how you're tracking. So maybe you started off with a 4 5 years ago, but then 3 years ago you went on to being a 6, but then somehow now you might be at a 3. That helps you figure out which areas that you've ranked are kind of ranking low and which ones are ranking high, and how you feel about taking that next step forward. But essentially the idea is that as you're picking up those moments in life and you're tracking the numbers, are they going up, are they going down, you can get a better grip to your life to figure out whether you're going in the right direction. And basically, as long as those numbers are getting higher and higher, you know that you're getting closer to your dream job. But if they're getting lower and lower and lower, you know that you are kind of heading in the wrong direction. And at least you can look at those key areas to define what areas you need to work on. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I personally graph it up myself for my personal life, leave a comment down below and I can do a video dedicated to that. But tip number 3 is definitely utilize Excel and spreadsheets and graphs to graph your life and track your life. So the next tip that I have for you guys in terms of mastering life and doing adulting correctly is to ask for help. Okay? Ask for help wherever you can. Now I know sometimes that's difficult. A lot of us have ego, we have pride, and we feel some type of way about asking for help. But how can you afford to not take advantage of all of the experience and information that people in your life and around you have? It would be ridiculous. There's 7-8 billion people on this earth, all with their varying experiences, all with their varying knowledge. You want to figure out who is doing what you want to be doing and doing it better or doing it well, and then ask them, how did they do it? What did they do? Did they use any particular resources? Did they speak to friends? What you want to get as much information from those people as you can, because they in themselves are a resource that you can utilize. Most of us don't realize how much information is actually sort of lurking around us outside of the internet, from your neighbors, from your teachers, whoever it may be. Drop them a LinkedIn message. I mean, the channels and the avenues are so vast for you to be able to get in touch with people these days. Go on Instagram and DM somebody. If you see somebody doing something that you want to be doing and it looks like they're doing it well, reach out to them, speak to them and ask them. You've got literally nothing to lose. If they say no, they say no. There's literally probably 100 other people who know how to do that very same thing, and you can just ask them. Honestly, a problem shared is a problem halved, and you should always look to ask people for help. Okay? So the last tip that I have for you guys, which is the most important tip that you have to get in your brain when mastering life, is to win. Win every day. Now, one of my favorite books that I've read is The 7 Behaviors of Highly Successful People. And one of the chapters in that book talks about the win-win situation. And the idea is that in business or in life, you should always endeavor to go into activities that will yield a win-win scenario. And the idea is that from that, you gain the confidence to feel better about yourself, to do more of the activity that you enjoy, to enjoy your life and just be in a better mental state overall. I think a lot of us are maybe bogged down by possibly not always being in a win mind frame. Sometimes in the office, things might go wrong. You don't get a promotion, or you don't do well at a project, or even in university, maybe you didn't get the grade, etc., which puts you in a losing mind frame. And a losing mind frame consistently happening is very, very detrimental to your emotional well-being, to your mental well-being, and I mean, ultimately, you just won't enjoy your life and you won't be able to like reap the benefits from it. So the idea with winning is that you choose a few things every day that you're going to say, I'm going to win in this area. And I'm going to make sure that I get the result that I personally want from it, as long as the other person is winning as well. And the more that you do this with little things in your life, the more you'll start to feel like you are winning. And the more you feel like you're winning, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the happier you get. And the happier you get, the more you're able to master your life. Yes? Yes. So, tip number 5, the most important tip is to win. Win every day. Okay, so that's been my top 5 favorite tips for mastering and hacking life. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that video. If you have any hacking tips that we can all learn from, leave them in the comments down below. I've also got all of my social media information down in the description box, so don't forget to follow me and also subscribe. Hit that subscribe button like this if you want to see more from me and more information about money and how we can all get our lives together. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.